and welcome to First Order Linear Equations with Amanda Bond. We're going to talk about in this video what exactly a first order linear equation is and how to solve one. Let's get started. So first off, what exactly is a first order linear equation? A first order linear equation is first order because it only involves the function of y and the first derivatives of y. But how exactly are we supposed to know that it's a first order linear equation? Well, an ordinary differential equation involving derivatives of y with respect to x is said to be linear if it can be written in this standard form. Let's look at what these terms mean individually. Bring your attention to the far left term of order n with the red squiggly line underneath of it. This coefficient depends on the independent variable x while it's multiplied by the derivative of x. And as you get closer to the equal sign, each term decreases by 1 until you're left with a 1 of x dy dx plus a naught of x times your function of y equals f of x, which is also called the external function. So let's practice putting equations into standard form. We can clearly see that this equation is linear and first order because there's a function of y and a first derivative of y. Let's practice putting this into standard form while recognizing each term of the equation. By subtracting y from both sides, we put the function of y and its derivative on the left side of the equal sign, leaving the external function x on the right-hand side of the equal sign. But what about our terms a1 of x and a naught of x? Well, those are just the coefficients of each of the terms on the left-hand side of the equal sign. So dy dx acts as our a1 of x, and then negative y acts as our a naught of x, which is negative 1, leaving our external function f of x. So let's try to solve a first order linear equation. We can clearly see that this equation is linear because there's a function of y and the first derivatives of y. The first thing we're going to want to do is multiply both sides by an integrating factor to get a product on the left-hand side of the equation. For this example, that integrating factor is x. So multiplying both sides of the equation by x, notice that we have a product on the left-hand side of the equal sign, and that product rule is of x multiplied with y, leaving us with x cubed on the other side of the equal sign. Now, to undo this product rule on the left-hand side, we're going to want to integrate both sides of the equation. After solving the integrals, we're left with the undone product rule and 1/4 x to the 4th plus an arbitrary constant c. To isolate y, we just divide by x on the other side of the equal sign, leaving us with 1/4 x cubed as our particular solution and c over x as the homogeneous solution, leaving us with our final equation for y. To check this, just plug it back into our first equation that we started with. So let's go over what we just did. We first went over what a first order linear equation is, followed up with how to put a first order linear equation in standard form, and then we ended with how to solve a first order linear equation. But I can't help but wonder, for further exploration, what about a general solution to the first order linear equation? And is there a way to solve for the right integrating factor for any first order linear equation? Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching.